All right, we're in Dortmund in a sports bar, actually owned by Kevin Grosskreutz, the former German international. And we're here for a special collaboration between 11 Sports, the Belgian Pro League, and 433. And sitting right across from me at this table is one of the best midfielders of his generation, Axel Witsel. Axel, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, good, and you?
All good, man, all good. So, actually, it's a great segue that we're in a bar owned by a professional football player or a former professional football player, because that's a great segue because it's a football player who also started a business, right?
Yeah.
And when I looked into you, when I heard we had the opportunity to sit down with you, I saw that you are, as I saw, a very entrepreneurial football player, right? You are involved in a lot of businesses outside football as well. I want to talk to you about that a little bit. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's okay. Because I think it's important, with the money we earn, we have to do something good with it and smart. And I would say it's important to start straight away when you start your career, when you are young, and not waiting in the end or after it, because then it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think a little over a decade ago, most football players started to think about, okay, what should I do with my money after their football career? But now more and more you see football players starting to invest more when they're younger. So I want to talk with you about that. But all the way, before you started to even make a little bit of money as a football player in the beginning, when I was young, a teenager, my first job, I think I was a dishwasher or something, right?
Yeah.
Delivered newspapers. Did you ever have a job like that before you made money as a pro?
No, I was lucky. I didn't have any job before I was in the school. So because I signed when I was 16 and a half. So I didn't have time before, to have a job. So I was a lucky guy.
Yeah. How would you describe your family when you grew up?
Well educated. My parents insist to finish the school and to get my diploma. It was really important for me also. But my dad always said to me, even the day you will sign professional, even if it's 16 or 17, you will finish the school. This is important because in football you never know, and it's what I did. I think they were right. Even if you are any player, 16, you are a professional, you should finish the school. It's important.
What were you good at in school?
Well, I was a good student. Maybe not the best one, but I study accounting.
Yeah.
To be an accountant,
Oh, really? Accounting.
Yeah. So I finished when I was 18. Then to become really an accountant, I had to make 3 more years. Mm-hmm. But then, from 18, I didn't have any more times to go in the higher school, So when I had my diploma at 18 years old, I just stopped.
And then it was football, of course.
Then it was just about football, yeah.
But that's interesting. So you knew already a little bit about books and business before you started to do business. What was the first piece of business you did outside football? Your first investment?
My first investment, if I remember, was I bought one apartment. And my dad was pissed on me.
Really?
Yeah, because I did everything alone.
Yeah.
So from the back of my parents, I was still living in the house of my parents, but I wanted to be independent, to live by myself, and I wanted to buy one apartment. So my dad was like, no, you can stay at home, you have time, relax, and you're not ready. And I was like, no, I want. But then I had to do it in the way I did. So I came back home. I just said to my parents, look, this is the paper, everything from the bank and everything. I say, look, I sign it. In 2-3 weeks, I move. So he didn't speak to me for 3 months or something, Normally he come to see me in every game, in the stadium. For 2-3 months, no games, So he was really pissed, and
that's funny.
And well, I think it was a smart move from me because when you are young, and the first thing you think is to buy an apartment. I think it's the right call.
Better than buying a car or something.
Yeah.
So that was in Liege?
Yeah, that was in Liege. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was your first apartment, but now you have a whole apartment building you were building in Liege, right?
Yeah, a few. Yeah,
a few.
Real estate is something I really like.
Yeah.
That's why I started, to invest when I was 18, and I kept going until today, because it's a business I like, and I think there is a good value in this. You cannot, of course, you can lose money in every kind of business, but the risk of real estate, it's really small. So that's why I like, because I'm not like a casino man, like playing poker.
Fast
I don't like,
cash, long term.
So I prefer on long term win something, not maybe big, but and to be safe.
Yeah. It's generational then as well, right?
Yeah.
Because your family can profit off it.
Exactly.
Even after.
Then it's going to be for your children, and
exactly.
if they are smart and they keep what you're doing, then it's going to be for the next generation and the next generation.
Exactly.
And so on.
So apart from the real estate, you also did some other things. I read that you also, I think the business, you're not in it anymore, but with your friend Nasser Chadli, you did something in fashion, is that right?
Yeah, I try some clothes. I wanted to make my brand. I did some caps, t-shirt, pullovers, a lot of things. It was when I started when I was in China. But then it's something I like, but I didn't have the time to really focus on the fashion, Yeah. And I think if you want really to succeed in that business, you need to be 100% every day on this. Yeah. So that's why I stopped it. Maybe I can, try it again after my career or something when I will have really more times. But I decided to do something else.
It's part of being a businessman.
Of course. Sometimes you make business and you win, and sometimes you try, didn't go like you wanted, and so I stopped it.
So also when you start to do business, it's important you have good business partners or financial advisors, right?
Yeah.
And I read that you did a lot of business with a man named Alain Goblet. I hope I pronounced it right.
He was he's not anymore, but he was before my counselor.
Okay. Yeah. So was he important to you,
it was good to me. He works with me with, I think at that time was Romelu also, Nasser Chadli also. He was good, but then for X reason we find different way, So we don't work together anymore, but I'm still in contact with him, so I don't have any problem. I have somebody else now since 8 or 9 years. So I think it's important to have people around you, and not too much, but the right one.
So how do you decide then? Because when you're a professional football player, a lot of people know that you make good money, and I imagine there are a lot of people approaching you for business opportunities, so to speak. How do you decide?
That's why I don't do everything. If you speak about real estate, whatever, apartments or one building or whatever, I don't do everything by myself. So I have someone who is working with me. So the people who wants to make business with me, then they have to contact him. Like that, I'm just focused on what I have to do the best. It's playing football, because then if you also think too much, you have football on the side, then you have real estate, then you have wine or whatever, then it's too much also, So that's why you need to have somebody who can, I will not say control, but just manage before you, and then if it's something nice, then you just tell me, and then we see if I do the business or not.
So you were also in aviation for a little bit.
I was, yes.
And I think that was really interesting. You also said then that you wanted to fly planes someday yourself.
Yeah, like to be a pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that still an ambition of yours?
Not anymore.
Okay.
No, not anymore.
You were in the business.
It's a special world. The plan we had was good, but we didn't succeed on this one. And choose another passion of mine instead of aviation, the wine. So I got a wine in Bourgogne, Parcellaire 28. This is the name. So we do like 1,800 bottles a year, and soon, normally in few weeks or 1 month, I will have 2 more wines.
Okay.
Yeah. So in total, I will have 3.
What's that process like? How do you become a wine expert?
Well, first, I'm not really an expert. Of course, I learn every day and every year, because when you go in the business of the wine business, first, it's a difficult world to come in.
Yeah.
You need to know people who knows people, if you know what I mean. So one of my friends is in this world of wine for more than 30 years. And that's how I could be in touch with someone in Bourgogne. And we decided to make a collaboration. And that's why we did the Parcellaire 28. Then it was just about a test. We did 500 bottles. Then wine was really good. After 1 month, all the bottle was gone. And then we keep going, and we say, okay, let's do a little bit more. So we do when the years is good, because it's always depend of the weather also. We do 1,800 now.
Cool.
And then because it's a second passion of mine also, I decided to make 2 more wines.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the same region.
So during your football career, right? You first, of course, started in Belgium, then Portugal, and you were still a highly rated prospect then. And most of the times when you're a highly rated prospect in Portugal, you move to Spain, England. Yeah. Of course, you made the decision first, Russia, and then China, when you could go to top clubs, which are not necessarily the most prestigious leagues. But business-wise, those are good decisions, right? So, of course, football has become more of a business over the past decades. Yeah. So, when did you start to see football as a business opportunity, perhaps more than maybe a romantic thing?
I would say 24 years old. So when I moved at 23 to Russia, and then I really started to invest the money, my money smartly, and I think it's 24 years old. Yeah. I really think not that football is a business, but you can do both in the same time, I mean, before, when you start 16, 17, you just, play and enjoy. You don't think too much about that model behind football, like business, what you can do with the money you earn. Yeah. Even if at 18 years old, I bought my first apartment.
Yeah. But that's interesting because the owner of one of the owners of 433 is Demi de Zeeuw, also a former professional football player. And he also started his businesses when he was in Russia. I think, I don't know, you make good money.
Because of course, we don't need to hide anything. I mean, when we moved there, we had better money, of course, than before, because when you move to one club to another, of course, you have a better contract. Yeah. And when you have a better contract, then you have more possibility to invest your money.
And what are aspects from your life as a professional football player that you can apply in your life as an entrepreneur?
I would say I'm quite the same guy. I mean, on the pitch, I'm try to be like my nickname, chaloupe, relax and cool, not to become nervous. And then in the business is the same. Of course, we want every business we do to succeed, but I mean, sometimes you have so many opportunity, but you cannot jump straight away on everyone. You need to be smart and cool and calm. So I think this is a little bit similar than off the pitch and on the pitch.
And what do you think are the biggest differences between the business of the world of football, for example, which can be, of course, emotional as well, and real estate business, for example?
I would say football. It's you. I mean, you can control. You can control it. It's depend of how you play first, you as an individual, but also from your teammate. But I mean, real estate, it can depend on everything. I don't know. President in America fighting with another one, or it's depend of a lot of things, or like war we have now, So I mean, we can more control what we do on the pitch. That really in the real estate business, then it depend also where you invested, which city, which country. Because there is, of course, country or city where it's more expensive, but you can be more sure that in, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, it depends of how many years you keep it. You can have bigger bonus, on the real estate. So it depends also of the city.
In which countries have you invested in real estate so far?
Belgium. Mm-hmm. I had in Portugal, but it's finished. It was when I was playing there. Mm-hmm. France. And I think for now, that's fine. Okay. That's it. I will see more in the future.
Yeah. You also invested in Standard Liège, right? You supported them.
In the stadium?
In the stadium. How did that come about? And was that more like an emotional or like a passionate decision, or also a business-wise decision?
I would say more emotional than really a business, because when they talk about that to me, I know it was difficult for the club, so I wanted just first to to help. So that's why we build the company to buy the stadium. So it was more about emotion that really making business, because it's Standard Liège is my club, my family, it's my home. So that's why I wanted to help them.
Yeah, and what was the response when you did that? Is there from the fans of the club?
I think everybody were happy, because you don't expect also from one player to help, even if we had amazing moment and we're champions and we won everything. I think they were quite happy, but I was not the only one. Nasser Chadli did the same. Marwan Fellaini also. So it was good, but now they changed the owner, so we will see what's gonna happen.
Talking about owners of clubs, would you somewhere in the future want to own a club someday, or be a director at a club?
Director, yes. Own the club? I don't think so, no. First, you really have to have, excuse me, but big balls to own the club. I mean, a lot of money, and we win really good money, but to own a club, then it depends which one. If you tell me, in the 5th league, of course we can do it, but in 1st division, it's really hard. But it's not in my plan. But I mean, if I don't know, in the future someone call me and say, "Oh, you can be the owner, but you don't put any money," I mean.
Is there a line of business? We talked a little bit about the wine, real estate. Is there a line of business you haven't invested in yet that you want to invest in the future? Some dream project you may have?
Now, straight away in my mind, I don't have. I really want to grow my business, my wine business. It's something I really want. But other things, real estate, I keep going, and I will keep going even after my career, because it's really something I like, and it's something normally safe. And then we will see the opportunity I'm gonna get, in the next months or next years.
Yeah. All right, Axel. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next time, let's drink some of your wine.
Okay, of course, no problem.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. What a
Thank you.
pleasure.
You're welcome.